ring. And Dusty Rhodes also said that his sister could whip me on any street in America. Well, let me tell you something, Dusty Rhodes. I've heard a lot about your sister. I know she's been on a lot of streets, so she knows them real well. As a matter of fact, they used to call Dusty's sister Federal Express. Did you know that? When she went out on a date, she absolutely positively had to be there overnight. But I want to talk about Dusty's whole family. I want to talk about his drunken old daddy. Down there in Austin, Texas, every Saturday night, Dusty Rhodes' father would go in the worst low-class redneck saloon in Austin, Texas, and there would be fighting, there would be swearing, there would be cussing, and a lot of hard drinking. And finally, he'd be able to drag Dusty's mother out of there. But you know something about Dusty's daddy? He was a successful businessman. As a matter of fact, before he was a plumber, he owned a shoe store. He owned a shoe store down there in Austin, Texas, and he did so good at it that to this day, every time the city of Austin, Texas thinks of black loafers, they think of Dusty's father. But let me tell you something, Dusty Rhodes, and I want you to listen real good. The Cornette family has long been regarded not only in Louisville, Kentucky, but all over the country, all over the world, as one of the finest families ever in this country. Beautiful Bobby Sweet Stan, they come from money, they come from power, they come from movers and shakers, they come from the upper crust. We are not riffraff, we're not rednecks, we're not farmers, and we're not plumber sons like you. So don't you ever dare make comments about the Cornette family, because, brother, let me tell you something, we're going to take that into consideration. Just remember, your daddy spent his whole life in other people's toilets, and while he was out there with that plumber's helper, every delivery boy and out-of-work bum in Austin, Texas knew the color of your mama's bedroom. You remember that. Let's go.
More after this timeout, fans.
We had, say what? A whole lot of superstars on this stage here tonight. But I want y'all to know one thing. This is my house. And when I say who's
word attack skills and vocabulary too. All the hits in the this edition is all brand new. You're through. I'm interplanetary and like Doctor Who. So who?
Fuck your beef, no relief. I step on stage, girls scream like I'm Keith.
Welcome everybody as we give you our first dose of Ring Time Pro Wrestling this week. Keith and Keisha in the building. Keisha, say hi to the people.
Hi everybody. It's the mid of the week and we're here. It's awesome. I'm off today. That's even more awesome.
So I'm off, Keisha's off, so we don't have to record this in the middle of the night. We can get it out in the middle of the day and have it ready, and you can consume some wrestling, you know, during your day before the NBA Eastern Conference Finals tonight, before NXT Unstoppable Takeover.
Go Hawks.
There's a lot going on a Wednesday night. Keisha will be busy. I'm going to have a computer and a TV on.
Let's see.
At the same damn time.
I'll probably be on the phone. But other than that, I ain't going to be doing too much and nothing.
Hey, man, I got two jobs that require this, so.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A wrestler journalist and a sports journalist at the same damn time. Just saying. At the same time, I got to get them both done. So, I mean, I could watch NXT on the back end, but it's too fun when everybody else is watching. You know what I mean? And I think this one tonight is going to be one of the biggest ones ever. Right? And this is, I think, a very transitional NXT Unstoppable. Because I would count at least 2 or 3 people who probably are going to ascend to the main roster after this one. Right?
Right.
Owens got a match with John Cena in Elimination Chamber, which we'll talk about later as we get into this show. Which, hey man, talk about shaking the world up. But I said before that this is kind of what I wanted. Rumors: Samoa Joe may appear at NXT TakeOver tonight. We'll get into that later on.
Right.
What else? So a quick hit before we roll into this. Sasha Banks, Charlotte. One of them two or both are going to be ascended to the main roster, right?
Of course.
So it's about to get crazy out here, and let's see who, you know, how this all transitions. As a standalone brand, NXT is amazing, Keish. Amazing as a brand. What I'm seeing for it, I think Vince is going to, this is where conflicted visions come in. I don't know how long Triple H wants to wait for guys or what he wants to do with guys, but I think Vince is going to start plugging this as a talent man. Like, this is going to be SmackDown circa 2002, 2006.
Yeah.
Like in that era where what happened was, I'll go even up to 2007. Once you blew up on SmackDown, he plucked you out and put you on Raw.
Right.
You know, when Cena ascended to being John Cena, he ended up back on Raw. They couldn't leave. Like, they left Edge over there for a little while because they let him be the top guy over there. They needed Batista to be a top guy over there. But after a while, you know, it's like, okay, let's pull him back to Raw. Somebody get hurt on Raw, let's pull him over to Raw. Ben Wyatt, when he blew up on SmackDown, pulled him over to Raw. And, I mean, that was a constant theme. Like, they get hot with a guy over on SmackDown, you yank him over to Raw.
Right.
NXT, you're going to get hot, and you're going to blow up, and it's not going to take as long, and you're going to get pulled over. So, we'll see how it goes. You know what I mean? A lot of opportunity out there. This may be Sami Zayn's last NXT show. Like, I would very well be remiss. Not last NXT show, but at least like the last pay-per-view.
Right.
Like, some of these guys probably will show up on NXT in the next few weeks, but this is probably the last pay-per-view for them, right?
Right.
So all of that goes down tonight. But without any of that, let's start with this week and rewind. But before that, just in case you don't know, it's Ringtime Pro Wrestling. We are found a variety of ways. We are now on podcast.com. I'm just experimenting with that. It's a new platform, and I just like to share the show any way I can. We are, of course, on TuneIn Radio app. We are on Stitcher Radio. We are on iTunes, SoundCloud. My YouTube people, I appreciate you. Last week was our biggest week ever on YouTube. So apparently people are finding the show via YouTube and using that as a medium to which to listen to the show. So
awesome.
That is great. We were just trying to make this thing as accessible as possible.
Right.
To do that, sometimes require a little scratch, a little cash, because funding this thing is expensive, and the more y'all who listen, hey, the more it costs. So we do sometimes offer some things. We're not just going to ask for money, but if you do want to just give money, on ringtimewrestling.com, there is a donate button, and you can drop whatever denomination of coins you would like to into it. I take anything, but I think PayPal only takes the money. Now, if you want to mail it to me, maybe I'll get a P.O. box so y'all can send me food stamps, whatever.
Right.
But besides that point, let's get on to the wrestling. But, yeah, let's go to the wrestling. And then we'll talk about some other stuff later. Payback. Overall, as a pay-per-view, Keish, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But some very good high points in the show. Very good high points. I'll go with the pre-show. Did not expect 2 matches. I got 2 matches instead of 1.
Right.
Don't know what they mean. Don't know if they have any impact on anything.
They don't.
Our truth beat Stardust. You know what I mean? Didn't see that coming. Right? Really.
Right.
Our truth was a win. Who knew? The Ascension. They defeated the Mega Powers. Mega Powers 2.0. Not Macho Man and Hulk Hogan, but more of Axel Mania and Macho Man down.
Yeah, that's it. That's Lord. It's like that sometimes. But yep. That's how it was.
But hey man, I'd rather that match be on the pre-show than the tag team titles be on the pre-show, right?
Yeah, I'm so glad that they didn't do it like that. So they get an A+ for me for that one. Like, that was a great trade out, because I hated them putting the tag team titles on the pre-show. It was like, come on, bro, for real.
And this is the thing, you have an hour to work on your network. I mean, I remember watching pre-shows back in the day. You know, Sunday Night Heat was a show anyway, but they would do Sunday Night Heat before a pay-per-view, and they would do it at the pay-per-view, and they would generally have a match or two that were guys that wasn't on the pay-per-view, right?
Right.
Okay, do that. Look, man, every pay-per-view, you should have about 2 matches. That's about enough time in a pre-show. They have like 2 good quality 8-minute matches. I mean, I would give them some time. 8 to 10-minute matches each, right? Then that's 40 more minutes. Well, let's say 35 minutes because y'all trying to do ads on your own network, but that's weird. But they give you about 35 minutes to still do the hype. And I think y'all offer the pre-show for free online on like YouTube and Facebook and other avenues. So run those matches. Get those guys some screen time. Pick up some wins. And it'll help you build your lower card.
Right.
Which strengthens the card as a whole. So that happened. We get to the main card. Sheamus took on Dolph Ziggler. I like Sheamus as a heel. But I thought it was more of a showcase for Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I like Sheamus as a heel. I don't like his look though. That's kind of awful looking. But hey, whatever works for him.
I mean, as a heel, you can have a terrible look. I mean, that's part of being hated. Like, it fits him. I think he could go with this. You know what I mean? I have no problem with the whole overall look of Sheamus. I just think, I don't say it was a showcase for Dolph, but it's just Dolph is so much better in the ring. It was his world. He got busted open the hard way though, man.
Yeah. God. Oh, this thing on his face. Oh, it was ugly. It was ugly. Oh, and I hated things that were being said about him after the fact. Like, no, man. Did you see it? That was nasty.
Things happen. It's still a violent place. And I know they got a no blood rule, but when things happen like that, it happens, naturally. It is what it is. And it lets you remind you that it's real in these streets. And where's my man David Willis? It's still real to me, damn it. It can get real out there in that pro wrestling.
Right.
Done. I'm telling you. So if you go and you watch and you listen, Dolph put together an incredible match. Sheamus got the win. I think that makes the 1-1 or something like that. Maybe 2-2. I don't know what the all-time series. I'm just counting the pay-per-views. I don't know. I'm not counting main event. I'm not counting SmackDown. Not counting Raw. Just at the pay-per-view, right?
Yeah, I think they're like 1-1, somewhere around it, something like that. I don't know.
Now, both men will be in the chamber. I don't think I'm giving a spoiler there. So we'll see how that all works out. Next match, New Day champions.
New Day
defeated Tyson and Cesaro in the best 2 out of 3 falls match. Entertaining. Like, here's the thing. I like the New Day now, and I'm gonna preface this. They are sticking into this heel thing, and it's getting good.
Yeah,
I think
it really
what we
is.
wanted, right? Like, and I think what they had to do for this, they had to trot them out there as loser baby faces for a minute to really get people with the heel thing. And then people hated them enough for the heel thing to work. Now, that New Day sucks. Great. All right.
Exactly.
It's going to be kind of weird, though. Because I think the black fans are not going to be chanting that.
No, not really.
Not going to make this about race, but I'm going to make it about race a little bit. I think them being heelish in a weird way is empowering to watch, because watching them being heels, they're not getting stomped on.
Right.
and them taking what they want is like, okay. Now, I would like him to stop dressing like Earth, Wind, and Fire from 77, but, you know, we can't all have what we want, right?
Right.
But I would go with some less colorful ring gear. Don't have to be all black, but just a little less colorful.
Exactly. Because Jesus knows these extra loud colors, oh my God. They gotta stop that.
I mean, somebody may say, and this may be true, it's added to the obnoxious element of the New Day.
Yeah, it has to, because those colors are obnoxious. Like, oh my God. That is awful looking. I don't even wear colors like that. Like, come on, man. Seriously?
Yeah.
I can't deal. I can't.
I like the New Day. Now, I'll say this. I really like Cesaro and Kid, too. Man, I think they really click it as a team. Right. And I think both of them are so technically skilled, but in different ways, it's a nice mesh.
It is.
Where like Cesaro is clearly your power guy, right?
Right.
Kid is clearly your high flyer. They got the female manager who can throw a punch.
Right. Exactly. Not just somebody out there standing looking pretty. Like, she can fight too. That's awesome. It just adds to the element.
Right. I mean, I think they're built for like long range programs.
Right.
Hold on,
it's
Keisha.
Just great. Okay.
Oh, I had to cough. So I hit pause on the record. Yeah, I mean, adds to the element. Good match, back and forth, had a lot going on. I really didn't know who was going to win, Keisha. Now, the finish left a little bit to be desired.
Right.
Don't want to claim angry black man, Keisha, but you've heard of twin magic. These Negroes use black magic to win this match.
Yeah, exactly. It was so ridiculous. Like, I'm like,
now,
who did not know that wasn't Kofi in that ring? Come on, man. Like, are you serious?
Xavier shorter. Kofi has dreads. Xavier just got his hair in a ponytail.
Exactly. I'm saying, like, really? How does this even work?
And I'm not trying to split hairs on complexion, but Kofi's a little bit darker. Just saying.
Exactly.
But, hey, I guess we all look alike. That's what I was supposed to take from that finish. Vince McMahon has done it again. It's trolling us. We all look alike. Right. I get it. So
you gotta say it, but you damn sure just showed it. That's all I'm saying.
Right. So that happened. I'm going to be at peace with it. I'm going to deal with it in my own way.
Right. That's all you can do. All you can do.
I'll be at peace with it, and I will deal with it my own way. But yeah, all in all, good match. I was impressed with the New Day, and I was impressed with Tyson Cesaro. Bray Wyatt and Ryback had a match that I did still see the point of. I still don't see the point of.
You're not going
Can't make details of it, right?
Right.
And Keish, Bray Wyatt actually won. Clean win.
Yeah.
No problems.
It's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous.
It's crazy because I haven't seen Bray Wyatt win nothing in a very long time. Not in a pay-per-view.
Right.
Not anything that matters. Not that I can even make an argument that this matters. But Ryback was a guy who's kind of on his ascension in popularity, and a guy who is seen as a legit powerhouse or something. And they did sacrifice Bray Wyatt, so I don't know what this means. I don't know what's the next step for these two.
Right.
So, you know, they got something going on, I guess.
Yeah, but I don't know what it is, and I don't see why. Like, that's just, it ain't understandable. Sorry. I'm not even trying to understand what's going on with it. But whatever. It is what it is.
Next match rolls in. Naomi and Tamina knock out the Bellas.
Yeah. Who knew?
This is what I'm going to say with this. Are the Bellas baby faces now? Are we supposed to like the Bellas?
It seems like it, considering that we obviously know that Tamina and Naomi are heels, but they never really necessarily made a turn. I'm starting to see a new trend with that. Like, just like the New Day necessarily didn't really make a turn, it just kind of started to be that way. Yeah,
right.
Like that's pretty much what's going on with the Bellas. Like, they didn't necessarily make the turn; they just kind of are just in this position. You know, I would say they are faces, but at the same time, that can't be a confirmed thing because they didn't necessarily do anything or say anything to show that.
Yeah, I mean, shouldn't they have saved somebody? Shouldn't they have rescued, like, Bayley from getting beat up or something? Like, I would have then said, okay, this is the turn. But now, watching, like, I'm just supposed to feel for them out of sympathy?
Right.
Like, they've been horrible people for the last 7 months. All of a sudden now, because they're getting the snot kicked out of them, I was supposed to feel bad? That's going to happen. No. Keep beating on the Bellas. Beat down the Bellas.
Exactly. Everybody hates the Bellas already. So it wasn't really, that's something that everybody is looking to happen. When you're a heel, like, everybody's looking for you to get your ass kicked. Like, everybody's rooting for you to get your teeth knocked in, even if it's by another heel. So with the Bellas, it's kind of a toss-up because nobody's really like, oh my God, it's Nikki and Brie. Yay. Like, that's not happening right now. And they're still annoying and obnoxious. They're not saying much, but at the same time, they don't have to. If they did say something, then it'll let them be known, like, hey, they're not really faces, because I'm pretty sure they'll have been said something that makes you know, that lets you know, like, oh, well, this is not the case.
It's to the point of, like, now I'm like, okay, so y'all, if I go to Raw in July, I'm gonna start to beat the Bellas.
Right. Exactly.
Like, it's gonna sound real horrible. Some men advocating women get beat up, but I don't really care. But so that happened. Neville defeated Wade Barrett on a count out. Then Barrett tried to attack him after the match, which led to Neville getting to come back and hit the red arrow. These two definitely ain't done with each other. A lot's going to be going on there.
Yeah.
I think it's a good launching point for Neville. Where he goes from here, don't know, but he's been successful. He's won some good matches, and we have to see how it all works out.
Yeah.
But I think they've taken care of Neville in the early goings of his career. So, and I think he has longevity, right?
Right.
Like, he has a high intensity style, but he seems like he knows when to slow it up. And a thing that won't hurt him as opposed to Daniel Bryan, just on a physical look at him, he's a smaller guy, but he's jacked. Like, he's Benoit small. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, Benoit was small, but he was really jacked up. And I think that will lead to some more durability. Where Daniel, I don't know if it's the not eating the meat or what, but the bones ain't as strong as they should be. So, you know, that's what it is. I'm sure I'm going to get some emails about people who love Daniel Bryan and asking why I'm hating. You can direct your emails to Keith@ringtimeprowrestling.com or admin@ringtimeprowrestling.com. You can direct your angry email to ringtimeprowrestling@gmail.com. I do answer all angry email, and if you are an asshole enough, I will roast you on the show, because I like making fun of people. So, with that being said, that disclaimer out there, let's get to the final match. And I will make fun of you, don't worry. Because to me, if you make time to get angry about something I said on the Internet Wrestling Show, you probably live with your mama.
Yeah, pretty much. Awful. No. I'm not doing with you. That's what I know. I'm not.
Okay. Anyway. I want to say. Heavyweight title match. Fatal 4-way. The Shield versus Randy Orton. No, that didn't happen. But it kind of did. Seth Rollins defended his belt against Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, and Randy Orton. Keisha, initial thoughts.
Okay. I thought that it was all over the place, but I thought it was a crazy match in itself. A lot of people getting involved, a lot of just random stuff going on. Of course, Randy Orton with his RKOs was awesome. It just was so much happening. I was trying to keep up, but it's like with 4 people and 3 outside the ring, and it was just so much going on, you know. But I thought it was a good match overall. Seth, of course, coming out when it's not surprising to me because he had 3 people helping him. You know, he had 3 people helping him, and there was 3 other people in this match, so there wasn't too much that said, you know, I have to do this, you know. Like, he didn't have to just, he can pin anybody and be done with it, you know. So it was crazy. It was a crazy match, but I do believe that it was a good ending. I think it was a great match in itself. It was a lot of involvement that I wish didn't happen, you know. I wish it was a little bit toned down because I know that this is how he keeps himself going. Everybody understands that, but sometimes I wish it'd just be a little bit of a drawback from that. You know, of course they was going to jump in. Of course they was going to help him, but it was, I don't know. I guess in this situation, I was like, is it really necessary, you know? Everybody was going after Rollins' neck, and I think that's one of the reasons why it was so necessary. Was because if it didn't happen, then I don't see him coming out being champion.
It was chaotic, right? But I thought that was the purpose of it. It was a little more Ring of Honor, less WWE. I'll say this: I thoroughly enjoyed the match. I expected the henchman to take place. I didn't know what Kane was going to do. Kane was a wild card, and it was very important that Kane played that wild card throughout the match. Like, you didn't know what Kane was going to do. So it became 4-on-4 basically, with 3 guys with the intention of not 4-on-4, but 3-on-4 or whatever, right? Really 3-on-3 because J&J security count for a half.
Right. Exactly.
Right? So I'm going to go there and say, excuse me, I thought they all did what they were supposed to do. It got chaotic, but I think it was a match bent on chaos. I didn't, you know, it wasn't like they was in the ring and tagging in and out and doing that kind of shit, which would have pissed me off. No DQ. The ref handled it without DQing anybody and just let it flow. J&J got knocked out early. Kane eventually got knocked out early. And it got down to the 4 people. And it was a very chaotic event. The Shield spot was amazing. Like, the crowd was in it, and just like that 30-second reconciliation was crazy.
Yeah.
Because I think about 2016 they're going to get back together. Like, that's the rumor. Like, they're supposed to build it for them to, like, 2016 to get back together. Don't know how all that's going to work. Don't know who's turning or how. I think eventually Rollins is going to be a babyface. Just like I think eventually Dean Ambrose is going to go heel.
Right.
I don't know what Roman's future is. Roman might be a consistent babyface for a while.
For a minute. But it's going to be a point in time where he's going to be heel too. We're going to see it. It's going to happen.
But I thought the match was everywhere. I thought it gave everybody what they wanted. If you like Roman Reigns, you got to see some spears. You got to see some Superman punches. If you like Randy Orton, you got to see RKOs all over the place. If you like Seth Rollins, you got to see him go fly and do crazy stuff. Exactly. Which we still had a curb stomp, but, you know, that's neither here nor there. Apparently curb stomp is too crazy for the WWE.
Honestly so, even though he's been doing it since...
Yeah, I mean, like, really? Like, we legislating on the curb stomp?
All right.
But I digress.
Like now we're legislating on the curb stop. Like now it's a problem. Like, okay, it wasn't a problem before. Like, how long
maybe we saved it. Yeah, maybe we saved it for bigger events, right? Right. That's there. We got if you like Dean Ambrose, you saw Dirty Deeds, you saw him, bounce off the rope, you saw him slug it out, you saw him go crazy. I thought everybody did what they were supposed to do. Also, like I said, if you was rooting for, you didn't know what was going to happen with the Shield, like, because this is the first time all three of them have been in a match together since the breakup. First time. Because remember, when the breakup happened, Roman was really busy with Kane and trying to work his way towards Triple H, and they never quite rationalized and never figured out how to make that happen. Right. Then he ended up stuck with Randy Orton in the dance partner. Seth Rollins' dance partner was always Dean Ambrose. Roman went on the world title ascension. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now Seth having the belt, of course, now he has Roman's crosshairs, but Dean hasn't ever went anywhere. So now we have all three of them in the ring with this unresolved issue of we don't like the one guy who traded on us. And he happens to have what we both want.
Right. Exactly.
So I thought that story played out well, but then, fatal four-ways make strange enemies and make strange friends. Because right now it's like, if you can get some help in this match, you're going to take it. And we can take one guy out, then it's just that. Maybe it's a three-man match, right?
Right.
Randy just got caught on the bad side of things. And, they all hit him, and then they looked around, and they called for the power bomb. It was like, oh.
Exactly.
Oh. And the celebration after, it was like, oh.
It
like,
was
as a fan,
moment.
you had to think. Like, I'm taking journalist, broadcaster out of this equation, right?
Right.
Fan, Keith, watched it, was like, oh, wow.
It paused everything. Everything. It paused everything. Everything stopped right then and there. It did. There was nothing that made that moment continue. Nothing. It paused everything. I swear to you, every fan that was sitting there watching this at this point, they couldn't take their eyes off because it was just too much. It paused everything. But I was excited for a second. I can't even lie. I was excited for a second. Just to see that happen was like, oh my God. Done with it.
Right. So, I mean, it was a good moment. Did the match. They broke up right then and there because Seth got a little too happy, and they got him. They took care of him. You got to see a Dean Roman square off, and then it got chaotic. Everybody got involved. End of the day, Seth Rollins walks away with his belt with a pedigree of all moves, and it walks away with the title. I'll say this. I know he's not going to drop that title until Brock Lesnar comes back. Like, there's no hope of him losing that belt at least till Brock Lesnar comes back.
Right.
That being said, they're making me think there's a chance that could happen. Maybe Roman can take the belt, and it'd be Roman and Brock again. Next time Roman is champ. I don't know. Also, very interesting element that's hanging out. Money in the Bank is next month. Like, we're gonna be busy the next few weeks with previews and recap shows.
Yeah.
So, buddy, when I say Money in the Bank is next month, it is on June 14th. Mind you, next week we're going to be previewing Elimination Chamber. So, just understand we're going to be busy. But it's a good busy, right?
Right.
And we'll talk about some other things and whatever. But great pay-per-view, solid event. Was it the best pay-per-view this week? I don't know. I heard it wasn't. and I got the ability to watch, so I'm going to go back and watch the Ring of Honor pay-per-view with New Japan. So that will be something that I will tune into.
Yeah.
Also this weekend, it's going to be bananas because it's going to be the first rounds of the Super J Cup. That's going to be happening. Wrestling's going crazy right now.
Yeah.
We'll be back Friday with a recap of NXT TakeOver, and we'll probably talk Lucha Underground on Friday because we haven't talked Lucha Underground in a while. So, like I said, we're going to give you a lot of wrestling because we get a lot of wrestling in. But without further ado, it's about that time for us to take our break. After the break, we'll come back with some news. Things going down all over the place in the world of professional wrestling. We'll recap Raw and tell how that's set up for Elimination Chamber. And with that, we'll let you go home.
And anybody, anywhere, that does not fear the name of the almighty Abdullah the Butcher is either an insane fool or they're lying to you. This man that you see is not an ordinary being. He has reigned terror in the wrestling business. He has reigned terror in the wrestling business for more years than any man. There ain't a single human being that can say deep in their heart that they do not fear the baddest of the bad, the biggest of the big, the Black Terror that is going to change things at TBS. He's here for a purpose. He's here for a reason. Everybody that has shunned me, that has made light of me, the Black Monster, will take care of everything. Because there's only one. Abdullah, the Butcher, the real boogeyman, has arrived on TBS.
Okay, we back. Birthday segment. Keisha, wonderful birthdays.
Birthdays!
This week, interesting week. Yesterday, Wednesday, the 19th, was the late, great Andre the Giant's birthday. Andre would have been 69.
Awesome.
Also, today, May 20th, Road Dogg, Jesse James, has celebrates his birthday. Road Dogg is turning 46. The late, great, misunderstood and family killer Chris Benoit will be celebrating the birthday tomorrow. Well, not necessarily celebrating. Not sure what happens down there. Okay, that joke fell flat.
I'm not. No. Not even get into that one.
May 22nd. Very interesting day. Do you know the late Brian Pillman shares a birthday with Daniel Bryan? They both have birthdays on May 22nd.
Interesting.
Also,
very interesting.
On Saturday, May 23rd, Bray Wyatt and Alex Shelley of Motor City Machine Gun and New Japan fame celebrate birthdays on those same days.
Awesome.
And after that, that's about it for this week. Next week is interesting. I think May 25th, which is like Monday. Roman Reigns and Alberto Del Rio or Alberto El Patron will both be celebrating the birthdays. So we'll get to that next week, I guess. But or Friday, I don't know. Why not? You know what I mean?
Right.
Friday. Let's get to this news. ROH resigns Quinn Moose Ojinnaka to a new deal, Keish.
Cool.
Moose, former Atlanta Falcon for about 7 years. 9-year NFL veteran, offensive lineman, 6'5", 295. Came into Ring of Honor very highly touted. Has really caught on to the wrestling business. Really learned well and really rose up the ranks of Ring of Honor. And it's good. They have inked them for a little bit longer. Because trust me, the WWE is watching. So TNA might be watching, but I'm sure they ain't got the money to spare right now.
No, I'm pretty sure that's not the case.
Right. But, yeah. So, that happened in the news this week. Fan poses on Instagram with Rusev's medal. Now, the medal has allegedly been stolen. The fan disputes that he stole the medal. He said it was left behind at an outdoor show, and the ring crew was cleaning up. And he saw it. He said, "Can I have it?" Dude said, "Yeah." But dude, and the other reports out there that he just stole Rusev's medal some kind of way. But he out on the Instagram with it. Who knows? It's just alleged. I don't know what happened. So don't try to sue me, or I'll go to court and act a fool. But
you get off it.
I will. I will go to court and act a straight monkey and play this court that I said alleged. It's a rumor. I don't know what happened. I told his side of the story, and that's it. And I don't think he's that bright. You know what I mean? Like, okay. Like, I would just go into it. And when I say I don't think, I'm not stating it as a fact. I'm just saying it as an opinion. I don't think he's that bright. Yeah, okay. I went off the rails. Scrap Iron, Adam Pearce. You may remember Adam, a guy we saw, former NWA champion. He is officially signed to WWE as a producer and trainer. A lot of people know he has worked with NXT and worked with the WWE as a producer on many different events where there was officially signed to the company like, hey, you are a guy. But apparently that is a thing now. So good job, Adam. I think the young people can learn a lot from him. Very seasoned performer, very skilled in the ring. Former ROH champion. So also out in these news in the streets, Keish, Scott Steiner issues a $1 million challenge to Hulk Hogan. Apparently he was a body slam challenge. Hogan ain't got to beat him. He ain't got to fight him. He just got to body slam him some kind of way. And it will be at a wrestling event in New Jersey where Scott was scheduled to appear, but I've heard rumors that they've taken Scott off of that event. It was a Legends event in New Jersey that was going to have like Ric Flair, Bret Hart, and a few other people, but maybe they all fear for their life because Scott is kind of legit crazy.
All right.
And he said, look, he'll put up $1 million of his own money if Hulk Hogan can body slam him.
That's crazy.
And you don't think he can do it? Now, I'll remind you, Hulk Hogan is a sports entertainer that got the sports entertainment to be a sports entertainer. Scott Steiner is an all-Big Ten, all-American wrestler.
All right.
Who knows how to hurt people pretty badly. So, he is what they call, in the back of the day, a shooter.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he is still shooting the steroids, possibly. I don't know. Allegedly. But, either way, a dude who rolled up on another man's wife in the airport, which he have his side of the story, other people have their side of the story. I'm just saying, I roll up on nobody's wife at no airport, right? Regardless of my opinion of them, I'm not rolling up on their wife like, hey man, your husband a piece of shit. Not doing it. I'm saying all the marbles may or may not be in place for Mr. Steiner. So Hogan might want to steer clear of that $1 million challenge. But and us at Ring Time, you want to hear the $1 million challenge, here it go. Listen for yourself.
June 7th, Met Stadium. I got an open challenge to you, Hulk Hogan. I'm calling you out. See, your biggest claim to fame is slamming Andre the Giant. June 7th, New York City. I'm saying you can't slam me. And I'm putting up $1 million of my own money saying you can't. $100 bills, Hogan. All you gotta do is step in the ring and slam me. You don't have to beat me. You gotta slam me. But once you step through those ropes, I'm gonna beat you up, punk.
Like I said, that's a whole lot of crazy going on right there. There's a lot of crazy going on in the bucket, Keish.
Right.
Don't know what they're going to do with that. Also positive news. Just to end the news on a positive side. Well, we're not going to end on positive side. We're actually going to end on negative. But just the positive news in the mix artist. Sting's son, coincidentally named Steve Borden, is going to get a tryout with the Kansas City Chiefs. For those of you who don't know or don't follow SEC college football, Sting's son was a tight end for the University of Kentucky. And actually a pretty good one. I think Kentucky struggled a lot this year. For whatever reason, they didn't throw a lot to him. Like, he had a real good junior year. But they didn't throw the ball a lot to him and whatever. But he still got a tryout. He's a 6'5", jacked up kid. Got a tryout with the Kansas City Chiefs. So best of luck to him in those endeavors, trying to be a professional football player. That is what's up in these streets. Keish, I don't know how your Falcons missed him. I think they needed a young tight end. They could have got a free agency.
Let's not get on that, okay? End it. Hey, we're going to end it where we started. I'm not dealing with you.
I'm just saying. They keep trying to Lolu out there. I'm about to punch somebody. That's bullshit. But, like, he's just horrible. Like, he's not a blocker. He's not a receiver. He is just, you know what happened? He looked kind of like Tony Gonzalez. So they thought, we're going to make him like Tony Gonzalez. He's tall and light-skinned with curly hair. We're going to make him Tony Gonzalez. And then got out there like, oh, he is no Tony Gonzalez. But now they got him on the team. And they don't know what to do with him.
Exactly.
But, dude, it's terrible. Toy Lolu, like, that must be Hawaiian for wet toilet paper. But I'm done. That's another podcast. Which eventually one day will get recorded. I don't know. There are like 4 podcasts in my head, Keish, that I want to do that I just haven't sat down and recorded. For all different subjects about different things. But that's neither here nor there. TNA, Keish. They got problems with Destination America, apparently. I thought that Destination America was going to be an interesting spot for them. Yeah. A lot of people expressed doom on them. I think about earlier recordings, I expressed an optimism. I was just happy they would still have a TV partner. And I thought that Destination America would be a partner that would probably be more, how do I say, willing to try with them.
Right.
Because, hey, who you know watch Destination America? But this is what's happening. They haven't got the ratings that they thought they were going to get from TNA. Even though it's probably the highest rated program on a network. Like, they get 500,000 people that watch every week, which is half the number that they had over at Spike. Problem was is that Spike was in 36 million more homes. I got Spike. I don't have Destination America. I don't like TNA enough to pay $10 to watch them.
I have Destination America, but if you want me to be truthful, I ended up getting it in a package that included El Rey because I wanted El Rey so that I could watch Lucha Underground. That's how I ended up with Destination America. So, I
just used to TNA. And here's the thing. TNA tapes several shows ahead of time to keep shows in the bank. You know what I mean? So, I don't know if Destination America likes that or what. But they're not paying them enough in production costs to keep up with a live show. Also, Destination America isn't the TV partner Spike was. A lot of people shit on Spike, but Spike was an incredible television partner. They put the bill up for extra production. They flipped the bill to pay extra talent. Like, TNA didn't pay Hulk Hogan. Spike paid Hulk Hogan.
Right.
They paid Sting and Bischoff. So they can have those names come through. Spike didn't pay for, TNA didn't pay for that. Or they would share pay, in those kind of situations. But they try to do everything to make sure that their program stays solid. It got the ratings, and it held on. When UFC left them, that was still a stalwart for the network. But the network started building around Bellator. They helped out with that. But they couldn't see eye to eye at the end of the day, right? And Spike signed out to renew. And word on the street is that there's an early opt-out clause in September for Destination America. They're definitely looking at the idea of opting out. Because here's the thing. I think the program is antithetical of everything that's on the network. Everything on the network is for like a 40-plus-year-old guy. And they haven't brought new viewers to the network. And they haven't picked up new viewers from the network.
Right.
Problem is, where do they go from there? Like, they would have a home. Like, this could be a blow, like a death blow to TNA. Think about it. Samoa Joe didn't re-sign with them because it was like, the money ain't right. Taz bounced because the money wasn't right. Then, the checks still got slow.
Right.
Keish, I'm a regular dude. I ain't working nowhere where the checks get slow.
No, sorry. Can't do it. Bills,
like,
rent.
My deposit come in Friday.
Yeah.
If it don't come Friday, got a problem. If they tell me that, like, hey, it may not come in until the next Friday, whoa, we got a problem.
I see mine tonight.
Having issues.
Yeah, I see my side of tomorrow. Like, I'm sorry. Every 2 weeks, clockwork. I can't. I don't see how you can. It's really a question in like, oh, what do I do now? Because once that stuff start rolling slow, man, hey, you got to make a move and do something because you got to go where the money is. The
fanboys who was trying to say Panda Energy had more money than WWE, I was like, shit, no, they don't.
Exactly.
And because Panda Energy is supposed to be cutting them checks, like, hey, y'all waiting on the revenue for the wrestling companies. Who y'all gonna be waiting? So, like, either they just don't have it on hand to be cutting cash like that,
right,
or something. But hey, man, the money been behind. I mean, that started happening in the old ECW before it closed up.
Exactly.
That was one of those signs. So, and Destination America, they just not happy. Now, here's the thing: it's a Discovery Network, which is a Discovery Channel. There was a chance it was gonna come on Velocity. And that was the early thoughts about it, was going to come on Velocity. Because that show, 1 million viewers, Velocity has more reach.
I mean, it would have made more sense.
And it has that 18, you know what I'm saying, that 18 to 34 male demo. The only problem is that Velocity is 100% all about cars. And I don't know how a wrestling show fits in a network that's all about cars.
Yeah. This is true.
Like 100% of the time about cars. That's the problem with the Discovery Networks. Like the different networks that they have is that they're about specific things. National Geographic and stuff like that. That wrestling ain't gonna fit on there.
Right.
The Discovery Channel ain't gonna fit. So what they gonna do? They can't. Destination America is all about damn old people watching barbecue contests. I don't think. So
yeah.
It did pick up the viewership. I thought it was going to pick up the viewership. I thought people was going to just have to take time to find it. I thought they'd be happy with the bump. But I guess what's happening is it doesn't give them rollover viewers. Like, the idea was that, because I think they not bleed their advertisers for money. TNA ain't making a lot of money on this either because they paying them considerably less than Spike was paying them. That's a fact.
Yeah, and it's a problem for them. That's definitely a problem for them. They're
not getting rollover viewers. So it's very empty viewership. So they'll have the spike in viewership of like, oh, this is 500,000 people. You know what I mean?
Right.
Which technically wouldn't watch that channel. But they all turn as soon as the program go off. Because there's nothing that interests them to watch anything else on that channel. Also, the hardcore Destination America viewer has turned. He's not watching. So you losing your core audience, and you get an audience that's not about to help you out at all on the other end. So I can see where it's problematic. In the beginning, I was way more optimistic, but I can see now, they in trouble. JJ, if you don't have my money, you in trouble. Sorry. Sweet Daddy. Good choice. I don't know. Okay. Raw recap, Keish.
Raw recap.
We'll hit it and quit it. Real quick. Show opened up with promise. The Authority presents the Intercontinental title and announced that it'll be an Elimination Chamber for the Intercontinental Championship.
Yes, of course. James comes out, makes an appearance. This, that, and third. Whatever.
Stephanie returned.
Of course.
I see Stephanie back.
It's really not, but it's cool. It's really not, but it's cool.
I appreciate Stephanie.
Yeah.
And Stephanie, this is. I think I got a job application on the WWE website. I'd just like you to take a look at it if you get a chance. Just say. But aside from that, we open up with a Sheamus Ryback match. Now, Sheamus won his pay-per-view match. Ryback did. You don't get to be that tough and intimidating. You just got whooped by Bray Wyatt last night.
Yeah, I don't think that you need to be all chest out and I'll kick your ass. Like, come on, dude. Like, you just got your ass kicked last night. You really want to go through this again? I'm just saying.
Bray doesn't like bullies. I mean, not Bray, but Ryback doesn't like bullies. Wasn't he a bully like 4 months ago?
Yeah, he really was before he joined.
What do you like, bullying dudes in the shower?
Before he joined Team Cena and was a big guy and blah, 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 yeah, he was a bully. Pushing people around, and he was like one of those high schoolers that push people in the lockers and laugh at them. Like, he was kind of like that dude. It was awful. Like, come on, Ryback. Like, you don't like bullies, but you was just a bully not too long ago. Like, shut up. Are you serious? He is just, the way that they do these people is just the worst. It's so ridiculous. It's like, come on, man. Really? Are we really going down this road right now? I don't have time for it.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. So, that happened. We watched that. Sheamus took advantage of him because the ribs were messed up. But both of them will be in Elimination Chamber for the IC title, so that's interesting. Dean Ambrose ruled a few parties that night. Got Kane head about him being a lackey for the Authority. So that thing isn't done yet. Also, Seth, in praising Kane, has talked about him, saying, I saved your job and you should be thankful. So, Kane ain't done with Seth, I don't think, in that way. But he gonna try to play it cool for the Authority. Big news. So Lana and Rusev broke up, Keish.
Yeah. It's over. And I was waiting on it to show up, actually. I was waiting for it to come. Like,
Lana turns face officially. And apparently she likes some zigzag.
And obviously so. Putting her lips on them and stuff. Ooh, girl.
I'd be like, look, baby, we got to rehearse this and make sure this look good. We'll buy the room later on. And
if I was big, I'd be like, hey, fuck that. You got Rusev over there. I ain't even finna deal with it. I'm not even finna deal with all that.
Yeah, okay, well, he got Rusev. He got Rusev problems now.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I don't want them kind of problems.
Yeah, Rusev problems ain't the easiest thing to deal with. Paige has returned, and she wants her Divas title back. She came in after Naomi got DQ'd against Nikki Bella in the title match, and Tamina and Naomi decided to thrash Nikki. Brie was banned for ringside because she got to go to therapy, according to Stephanie McMahon, which, like I said, now I'm supposed to feel sorry for these chicks.
Right.
I don't. But Paige came back and lit up the ring, and then she gave Nikki a DDT because she won the belt. So they're going to be struggling out there for that. And Paige should have beat up Nikki because Nikki was horrible when she left. Right?
Yeah.
So that makes sense. Neville and Barrett will continue their feud. So that's a thing. I think we got a new World Heavyweight Championship match. And I'm going out of order because I want the final thing to be like the big thing here.
Yeah.
Got a new World Heavyweight title match. Orton and Reigns were noticeably absent from Raw.
Right.
The tag team elimination chamber match is going to be interesting. Primetime players who cleaned out the ring, showing that they want to make moves, making $1 million moves. They gave the New Day some black on black crime, so that was good to see.
Exactly. That was just ridiculous in itself, but whatever.
But that happened. Dean Ambrose had a violent outburst with the entire authority there and beat up almost the entire authority by himself, and it almost killed Seth Rollins. But now he has a match against Seth Rollins in the Elimination Chamber. Took out Kane, J&J, and everybody. And it had Seth about to get bashed with a chair.
Yeah.
Like, whew.
Yeah.
Because when it happened, I thought maybe Randy Orton or Roman was going to show up and just wreck shop with him. But, no, really, he was able to destroy everything by himself. But he got a world title shot. Go Deed.
Exactly. I love Dean for that. He's awesome.
But the big story of Raw was John Cena issued the John Cena Open Challenge.
Of course.
And the internet broke. Because who walked out but Kevin Owens? Who I've always speculated that, also known as Kevin Steen, should be the guy who beats Cena and takes the strap and wins the Open Challenge, right? Or Samoa Joe. Depending on how this all works out. Because I do have my Samoa Joe. Actually, I wrote a whole nice write-up on ringtimeprowrestling.com. I can share it to you all. It was a nice little piece I wrote recently. But I looked at Owens, and he came out, he introduced himself, and he didn't wrestle Cena. He just traded barbs with him, and he introduced himself to the crowd, who may or may not know who he was, right? But when he dropped in that power bomb, Keish, it got interesting. Like, he made a statement. Yeah. He made a statement, and seeing him and Triple H shake hands backstage, it was like, okay, he's one of the guys. I'm ready to go with this, Keish. Elimination Chamber. John Cena versus Kevin Owens for the United States title. Let's do this. It has all the potential in the world, right?
Right.
And I give Cena credit. Cena has been putting these young guys over and has really helped these guys, establish himself. But he knocked off a guy who beat Rusev 4 times. Hey, we in business. But if Cena does win, I think this would be a nice spot for Samoa Joe to come in on.
Right. I'd say it'd be wonderful.
Yeah. Because that's a rumor. Like, Samoa Joe's supposed to be showing up at NXT tomorrow. He's supposed to get signed. I've heard a lot. Triple H addressed the rumor. He said they've talked to Samoa Joe, but that's about it. He wouldn't elaborate any further, and you may see him, you may not. He really didn't elaborate.
Right.
I think he's still trying to keep it a secret. So, if it does happen, it'd be awesome. Apparently, the rumors are that he will keep the name Samoa Joe.
Well, I like that. But I don't know. I mean, I have to see it actually happen because, no one really has ever kept their name.
We'll see a Punk kept his name off the Indies.
Right.
Samoa Submission Machine. Well, there's more value in Samoa Joe, right?
Right.
Like, people know, you don't have to guess or know. Like, people know who he is. This is the hottest independent wrestler that never signed with WWE. Where Brian, everybody signed with WWE at one point, whether they came there or not. Nigel McGuinness, he had injury issues that stopped him. CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, Kenta's here, a.k.a. Tommy, Finn Balor, a.k.a. Devitt.
Right.
This is the guy that, he just went to TNA and was happy and stayed at TNA for 10 years. Like, but now he's here.
Never signed. Never even thought of it.
Now he's there. He's there for the taking, Keish. It could be big. Right. Also, if you ever get CM Punk back, there you go.
Yeah.
That's the Buddy series.
Exactly. But
ever got CM Punk?
That is a whole nother conversation in itself. So, yeah.
But, So, that's it, man. Solid Raw. Ended on a high note.
It really did.
30 minutes was amazing. And like I said, Steve, Owens, made a name for himself. It was probably one of the best debuts I've ever seen. And I was very happy for him. I was very happy he got that reaction. And like I said, I was very proud of John Cena for putting himself in that position. So
it's gonna be interesting to see. I'm excited.
Right. So is what it is. But Keish, that's it. We're gonna roll this up, light it up, smoke it, and we'll be back in a couple of days.
Yeah, Friday. We'll be back Friday, people.
End of the week is the last day.
You ain't got no sense.
What you going to do? Oh, work it. Okay.
See,
right, I quit.
No,
I quit.
awful.
I quit.
Get it together right now.
All right. I'll let y'all later. Peace.
Bye.